Hello and happy 999 portal. I felt called to create a tarot video today, or tonight rather, because I'm not today, so much for you to know that. I enjoy doing my tarot videos at night more than the day. I know some people, some of them get spooked during the day, but I am a Scorpio, so I feel like I'm the night one. But like I was saying, I got called to pull some cards for the 999 portal for the collective. And cards are already wanting to fly out, so Spirit is definitely here with us. But just to make sure, I wanted to do a quick letter. I was looking for my crystal. A quick prayer and calling in to make sure they are with us. So, spirit guides, ancestors, and guides of the collective, please join us in this reading tonight to get the most clear, honest, and helpful messages you can, so that the collective may, I don't know why the word rejoice is going through, rejoice in the knowledge that you are willing to give them tonight. So, let's get started. For the 999 portal, Spirit, what does this collective need to know? They're watching this video. Collective that is watching this video, what do they need to know? We have the Wheel of Fortune, crossing, and the Four of Cups. So right away, I feel like there is a major shift coming that you do not see because you have been in a place of stagnation. You have been in a place of just pause, of reflection, of even apathy. Feeling like nothing is really changing for you, like you do the same thing day in, day out. And Spirit is telling you that the challenge here is that you are ready for change, but you also fear it. And you may be like, no, I definitely don't fear change, like I'm ready for the universe to change my situation. But a lot of us don't realize how comfortable we get in a situation until it is time to leave it behind, and we feel some fear behind that. So the next card coming out is the Eight of Pentacles reversed. The King of Cups reversed. The Two of Swords reversed. And the Emperor. So this tells me that there is some emotion that you have been pushing down to just focus on the creation of a certain path. You may not align with this path, but you know that it is one that is solid, that is, consistent, so you follow through with it. But underneath the surface is a feeling of unhappiness, of pushing away your true desires in order to control the situation, to keep in control. Because you feel like if you were to follow your emotions on a certain passion of yours or a situation that you want to come into fruition, you may feel like you may lose control, like you may not have all the variables to that certain desire figured out yet, so you're like, it's too risky to go for. What else, Spirit? We have the Two of Wands coming out in reverse. And the King of Wands. And as well as the Queen of Wands. Well, pair on the board. So this could tell us that you have these visions in mind. You may feel as if you are missing something in order to complete them. Like I said in a little bit before this, you may feel as if you don't have all the variables figured out to move forward with what you're really wanting. And I feel like one of those variables is you feel like you're missing something that would make this plan really solid and like make it more easy to push forward with. So right now all of your ideas are kind of just ideas. You're kind of struggling to match the passion with like physical pursuit, if that makes sense. All of the desire is there, all of the passion and the excitement and the inspiration is there, but when it comes to actually planning and action, you're like, ugh, I'm not really sure how to go about that. You have the Sun reversed and the Temperance reversed, as well as the Hanged Man. So I am going to be using a few decks in this reading, just to be, to convey all the messages I want to get across. But for the last bit of this deck, I'm seeing that there is a need to be patient, because there will be something revealed that has been a long time coming, and that is going to be very shocking because it's like right in your face. You weren't expecting this, but out of the blue it comes and there's no hiding it. This is something that is going to seriously put you in a state of reflection, and you're like, I waited for this for so long and now it's here, and I am suddenly having to wait even more because I'm having to go into a state of reflection about it, which may be very frustrating for you because you felt as if you've done enough waiting and now you have to wait even longer, and it's because it's on your own part. With the Ten of Cups is on the bottom of this, so this just tells me, I don't know if you can see the cards because it's so dark, but the Ten of Cups is at the bottom of the deck, and this just tells me that, like I said, with the Sun coming out here, even reverse, the Sun is the most positive card in the deck. So this is really a victory coming for you, a celebration, a happy ending for you coming that you don't see like in the near future happening, but it's happening. With Temperance here, this could be by Sagittarius season, so December. I believe the Hanged Man is also Sagittarius. I could be wrong about that. So for our next step, this is the Unveiled Tarot. Let's see what the shift does. We have the Four of Swords coming out reversed, as well as the King of Pentacles. We have the Empress coming out. And, okay. The Seven of Pentacles, as well as the Emperor. Another pair on the board. Okay. Okay. And they are right beside each other, just the Seven of Pentacles on top of the Emperor. But, so with this, I am seeing that there is a state of feeling as if the material success that you are working so hard for is right at your fingertips. However, you are having to kind of rest on this for now because you have depleted your energy. I feel like you were putting a lot of energy into, I know exactly who this message is for. Sorry. Anyways, you may have been putting your energy into the wrong things, and now your energy is just depleted, and you feel as if you're very frustrated. Make sure you're still recording this. Sorry, it made a sound. you feel very frustrated because you're like, I put all this energy into the wrong thing, and now I'm finally doing the right thing, but I don't have any energy to put towards it. And they're just making it known that as long as you have the desire to create success in your life, as long as you have the nurture to put behind it, that you will be successful. It's just you have to get over this feeling of, I wasted my time. Nothing is a waste of time. It is a, building towards legacy. It is a learning path. So it wasn't a waste of time. It was just a learning curve. And you passed. With the Ace of Swords being in the bottom of that reading there. It's like you passed. You got knowledge out of that. So it wasn't a waste of time. What else? We have Death. We have the Knight of Pentacles reversed, the Four of Wands, and the Queen of Cups reversed. Okay. So this tells us that there may have been a major ending or a major change to a cycle that put one version of your story to a definite end. And when I say a version of the story, I mean it's coming through as if something didn't completely end. It just changed the way it was going drastically. It's like it was headed one way and then suddenly it changed. But the Knight of Pentacles coming out next to this reverse, this tells me that this had to change because you were headed somewhere very slowly. It was like you were headed in a very toxic path, very repetitively, very slow, like you were doing a slow march to your own doom here. And with the Four of Wands and the Queen of Cups reversed, this tells me this could have had to do with a relationship in your life or a home situation where the warmth was just dissipating. There's a lot of emotional dissatisfaction happening. There's a disconnect, and you just feel as if, I'm going to pull more cards, but it feels as if this situation has changed for the better. It's like you were doing a slow march towards your own doom, like I said, and it's needed a shift. So things could be looking up for you now. We have the Page of Swords. So there is a definite, petty arguments, I'm sensing. Two of Swords, reverse stalemate. So neither of you wanted to budge. There's something you could not agree on. And the Magician. You took your power back in this situation. You were like, you know what? This doesn't have to be this way. I don't have to stand idly by and watch as something I want is self-destructing. I have all the tools here to make it work, and I'm going to make it work. So you took back your power, like I said, you just weren't willing to watch this crumble. With the Ten of Wands reversed, you picked yourself back up, and you made sure that things finished, like you were going to make it past the finish line. With the Mauve reverse, this talks about the opinions of others. When it's reversed, it could mean that they're getting to you quite toxic, in a toxic way. So this could say that, you were feeling as if you were having outside influences weigh on you in this situation, and you kind of just shut them all out. And like I said, you wanted to cross the finish line. So what I'm saying is you may have had a situation where you and another person that you deeply care about were at odds due to circumstances outside of the situation, like your relationship, if that's what this is, or the house situation. And you're like, why are we letting all this weigh on us? Let's get back together as a team and figure out how to move forward. Okay, this deck. Use the Marvel deck. One last reading. What do I need to know? What does the collector need to know? We have the Knight of Cups reversed. We have the Two of Swords. We have the Seven of Wands. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Knight of Swords. So, this tells us that there was a lack of emotional, I want to say transaction, which is such like a not emotional word, but there was a lack of emotional transaction with you and another person. And with the Two of Swords, this feels as if it's like another stalemate. Like we had a stalemate in the last reading, but with the Seven of Wands, I see this being something that was quite defensive. Like you may have had a defensive stalemate, and with the Knight of Swords at the bottom, this could have rapidly changed. Like there was a lack of emotional communication or a lack of communication period between you and somebody that you may have had emotional ties to, for example. And this is telling us that this was due to a defensive stalemate. And with the Knight of Swords at the bottom, change has majorly happened in this connection. I feel like it's already happened. So communication could happen in this situation. The Six of Swords, a lot of cards just flew up. I'm just gonna let you know. Lord, this could be a high level situation going on. The Six of Swords, the Five of Swords, the Ten of Coins, I almost burned myself there, the Hanged Man, the Fool reversed, and at the top we have the Seven of Cups and the Knight of Coins reversed. Okay, so something here had a serious lack of movement, but it was in a way that was, wow, shaded in disillusionment. Like the movement here that you didn't, there was movement here that you didn't see. On the outside, what you could see was a lack of movement. There was stagnation. There was just nothing happening. There was no communication between you two. There was nothing, brewing that you could sense. Or maybe you sensed something was brewing, but you couldn't see it, so you were like, nothing's happening. But like I said, it was all a disillusion, because I see that with the Seven of Cups, there was seriously something happening under the surface. With the Six of Swords reversed and the Five of Swords, this tells us that you are moving on from a conflict where nobody was winning. And this is something that you may have repeatedly went back to, went back to, went back to. And it's like, you can't tell if you're coming or going with this conflict. And it's frustrating. It's like, I thought we were done with this. Why are we backtracking? Let's leave it behind us. And it's like, I thought we left this behind us 3 years ago. It's like, we did, but we're back at it. So the Ten of Coins, the Hanged Man, and the Fool reversed. So this feels as if it's saying that there is a legacy here that is meant to be protected spiritually, and the Hanged Man is just telling you to wait for it. Do not rush into this. Do not jump before the coins. I'm trying to think of that saying. Don't jump. Don't strike before the iron's hot, I think is what it is. It's like, don't go for this right now, because it's not ready. It's still in that growth state. And, you know, I'm just hearing again, you know, this legacy is here to be protected. This legacy needs protecting. And this is not something that is easily played with. This is something that is played out for many lifetimes. And you can't just rush into this and there's a train in the background. So this is a journey that you two have been on for a long time. And you will arrive to that destination one day. But you know how long a train is, and it's like, will this ever end? And then, but when it does, it's like you're not even looking. But you know it ended at some point. It's like, that's what this is telling us. It's just, this is a journey that is going to take a long time. It probably already has taken a long time. But when you're least expecting it, it's going to come to a beautiful, beautiful ending. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope this helped. And I hope to see you in another video.